Well, hello, good morning. It's Erroneous Maximus the Third out in the park, because where else? This is where I get my peace and quiet until pedestrians, try to join me. Oh, hey, we match. It's a Kinder Egg, whatever that is. I've never had one. Is that just like chocolate with like cream, like a Cadbury, but orange and white? Hi, we planned this. I called it. I was like, hey, piece of trash on the floor. What you wearing? And here we are, celebrating the harvest. JK, JK. All right, why am I here? Why am I here? I'm making a video because I've been receiving requests of like, hey, when's your next video coming out? And I don't know, my life doesn't change. Like, I have the same problems constantly. I'm the same person. I do the same jobs. Have you ever seen that video with like that news anchor when like a bee flies toward him and he's trying to, what's that called? Direct the news? I don't know. Literally, why? Why don't you just call the person and be like, beep, boop, beep, 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 excuse me, I'm outside. Come in the truck. Hunty boo boo. Okay, there was an animal gnawing on something in the bushes right over there, and it was like, like, you are so annoying. And it was quite loud, so I had to wait until he was done eating his little breakfast. Speaking of breakfast, do you see how the sun is like a little blinding egg yolk right now? Like, I feel like I'm frying a piece of bacon. Or I feel like a piece of bacon. Don't go bacon my heart. I'd rather you cook it. Can you excuse me? Wow. Do you see how massive this ADD is? Speaking of ADD, you know, one of the huge signs of ADD is struggles to connect with others. And that's kind of like what was somewhat on my mind that I want to share because, you know, it's something that's always on my mind. I'm like, oh, I feel like a burnt chicken nugget, but I still love myself. But I just don't fit into any Happy Meal, you know? You throw me out. Okay, I'm being a little exaggerative? I'm being dramatic? Melodramatic? Okay, so y'all familiar with the Time Hop app? Well, I am. I've been using it for years, since it came out, whatever. And if you're not familiar with it, it connects to all of your social media apps. And every single day, sorry, I'm paranoid. Every single day, it shows you what you posted on that day from the previous year and the year before that, and like all the years since you've had those specific social media. And now for me, I've been around the block. Like, I have stuff pop up from like 2000, as early as 2006, and ooh, child, like, and back in my Bible college days, yeah, that was back in my Bible college days, like, I was a mess. And I'm like really shocked at the extreme transition I've undergone like since that time, because this is like 16 some years ago at least. So you know how like some people are very logical and some people are very emotional, like they're logic driven or emotion driven. I was almost strictly emotion driven, like years and years ago. Like, I would blog about the stuff I used to write. It was back in those days before blogging, which is web blogging or online journaling basically. Before that was really a big thing. I have like this stifled burp. Oh, trash. Speaking of trash, how you doing? How you doing, Kinder? Okay, it's good. Still trashy. Still wearing white and orange. Huh. I used to handwrite my journals. Always wrote in cursive and I think I was probably one of the last few generations to learn that in school. Okay, cursive, but I digress. Ooh, my lips be as chapped as the Gobi Desert. Okay, I got a Gobi Desert mouth. And like the stuff I used to write, it was always about like not fitting in or like trying to forge a friendship with somebody, and it's like, oh, I'm just a poopy head. like no one likes me, like everyone hates me, and drama, drama, drama. I'm a former emo boy. I was into like all the black and stuff, and it's just looking back like at how emotionally driven was. And well, like I said, I didn't fit in anywhere. I didn't really have I didn't have close friends. Let's specify that. I did not have close friends because it was hard, and every time I tried to open up to somebody, which is rare, but it would end up being thrown back in my face because I deal with different stuff. Like I'm weird. I'm eccentric. People don't get me, and at the time I didn't get other people. So like it was just this constant like cultural barrier of me always getting offended and other people always getting offended every time I try to open my mouth, and so that's my history. Always was a loner, very much a loner. I mean, I had friends here and there, but even with them, like the people I hung out with, like I didn't talk to them about stuff, about like personal stuff. I didn't think they really cared, or if I would try, they'd be like, ugh, trash, just whatever, just go pray, go read your Bible, go pray, go talk to Jesus, save it for Oprah, Hunty. No. So yeah, that was like 16 some years ago, and so yeah, like I said, it was very emotional, but now I'm almost strictly a logical person now, and I see it I see it frustrating, not really frustrating some people, but like it's still hard for me to really connect with people, because I think most of the people I meet, they're fairly well balanced, at least people my age. I'm in my mid-30s now, and they have experience in friendship. But me, I have massive ADD, and a big symptom of ADD is not being able to connect with others. Did I say that in this video? I made a previous video before this, so like if I repeat anything, I'm like, did I say that in this video or the Batman video? Whatever, deal with it. I don't know, I've always had struggles with getting close to people, and now I'm more of a logical person. I like, for my hobbies, I study. I read books, like nonfiction books, because I want to learn things. I like learning history. I like learning, I like math. I don't know why I have passions for math and things that just, all the boring things, or the things that most people find boring. And I'm weird now because I still have extreme emotions. I just don't really show them anymore. I keep them inside. Because, they'll just say it like it is. No one really cares. It's like, there are so many times over the years, when I would go to Facebook or some other social media and like try to vent and be like, I write like this whole blog, and I would just say to myself, you know what? No one cares. So I just delete it and move on. And the stuff I do post is like, I get the stuff that I actually like am really heartfelt and put it out there, and like I'm really hurting about, like I'd throw it out there, and then like I'll get like no interaction on it. But then I post like a funny meme, and people, I'm like, over 100 likes. Post like a cute picture, 150. I'm like, okay, so we shallow. No. I've learned though that with deeper stuff like that, it's when you just spew it out everywhere, it makes people uncomfortable. I don't understand why, but that's human nature, as I've learned, as I've observed. I'm a very blunt person. Like, if it's there, I'm just, ugh. And people are like, oh my gosh, you're supposed to tone that down. Like, why? That's a waste of time. I'm dealing with this now. It's like, I don't know. It's stuff I'm learning. But I still feel like that angsty teen that doesn't fit in anywhere. And I feel like I'm just this walking paradox, and I always have felt that way. I always have been that way, because I well, now that I'm very logical, yet still have that emotional thing, I feel like when I hang out with people who are primarily logical, it really frustrates me because I got all this emotion and like they just don't get it, and like it's like I see them as boring. And but when I'm with people who are more the emotional, like happy, like fun-loving types, that's when I'm like, do I hear fun? Do I hear happiness over here? It's like, that doesn't make sense. Let me look at this rule book here. Like, I become like this logic, like what's it called? Emphasize like the logic side of me, and it's like they just seem so like ungrounded. It's like everywhere I go, I always have an extreme side that's very different from them. Like, it's just like, why am I so extreme? And like, there's so many ways. I think that's that whole INFJ struggle, that personality thing. But and I've always had issues fitting in like different genders as well. Because well, I grew up having my social, when I grew up as a child and a teenager, my social circle was almost 100% girls. That's like, they were familiar with me, they were easier, I found them easier to connect with. And then when I got into college, and I'm like, oh, I have to live in a men's dormitory now, and I don't understand guys. This is a major culture shock to me. And yeah, I still never figured it out. So, but I've become very... Now, when I first moved in to the guys' dorm, like I was a very girly person, so to speak. I hung around girls. It's like that was me. I felt like one of the girls, you know. And then it's just a major culture shock trying to connect with dudes because they thought very, very differently than I did. And I remember in one class, our teacher like gave us like a sheet of like the way men's brains operated and the way females' brains typically operated. And I was the only one in the class who didn't match his own biological sex. Like, because I related 100% to the way that women's brains thought. But now, like, just looking back to, I think I still have that sheet somewhere, but it's very similar to what John Gray's, like, men are from Mars, women are from Venus type of thing. Like, I think I'm more neutral, which is frustrating because, well, now I no longer fit in with girls the way I did when I was younger, because, well, I'm a little bit more masculine now, like, just generally speaking, but then at the same time I'm still kind of like feminine, so I don't really fit in with other guys either. So I'm just kind of like in between, like to whom do I become close? Because I'm just really uncomfortable with both sexes now, and I'm just kind of like my own person, and I don't get along with people who are just like me. It's like no matter where I go, there's always something extreme in me, some type of extreme passion or idiosyncrasy within me that's very oppositional to the other individual. It's like, it's just, why I always gotta be like so not confrontational, but so like multifaceted. It's always hard too when people try to get to know me and they're like, tell me about yourself, because it's like I'm a very multifaceted person that's like going up to like a huge array of encyclopedias and just saying, tell me about yourself. It's like, which volume, which book, which letter, which like I don't know, like because with all my lonership growing up in that, like, well, I didn't have friends, so like what else am I gonna do? I'm just gonna invest in all the things. Let's learn stuff. Let's do all this stuff and then be intense in everything I learn. All or nothing, baby, all or nothing. And I just took it all. So it's like, here I am with a head full of knowledge, but like, I don't know what I'm doing on these streets. All knowledge and no experience, or very little experience. So it's just, I'm an odd egg. I'm a weird egg, but that's my friend. We match. That's my Kinder Joy. Ooh, it has a warning label on it. Same. Not for children under 3 years. Yeah, I know. Same. Because I'm like, this child, what do I do with it? Which way is up? I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, y'all, I think I've said too much. I said more than I wanted to share, and this video is 16 minutes, so I'm gonna go. It's gonna start raining, but thankfully, I got my Umbrella Ella AA, so bye.